All right, TGIF December 10th. A couple quick points here. Arbitration still slated for the 27th. Fire went on the 2nd. They had their briefs due on Monday, which were filed, and then their closing statements are supposed to be sent to the arbitrator by the end of business today. So I would assume Arbitrator Rommel will have a decision rather expeditiously on that. Again, his decision on that is not a blanket decision for everybody. Our issues are different on more than a few components, but we're certainly going to pay close attention to see how that plays out. The Labor Board ruling last week that I had talked about, I used the word ruling. Let me clarify. The Labor Board issued a complaint against the city in response to our complaint that we filed with the Labor Board. What that simply means is the Labor Board looked at our complaint and decided there was basically probable cause to move forward and issue a complaint against the city on our behalf, which forces them to respond within 15 days. So, in theory, they have 8 days left to respond. I'm sure they'll wait till the last possible minute. And after that response is filed, at some point, the Labor Board will schedule a hearing to address the matter. Don't expect it to be a rapid fire kind of approach. We can hope, but the reason for optimism is simple. The Labor Board kind of went a little different than normal. Normally, the General Counsel issues a declaratory ruling before the complaint. This time, they issued the complaint outright. They don't issue many complaints to begin with on behalf of whoever files. So there's good reason to think that the Labor Board firmly believes the city violated our contractual protections and labor law, and that's why they want to hear the city's explanation and have a hearing over it. I hope that clarifies any confusion. I firmly think that the Labor Board's complaint was probably part of the briefs that were filed on behalf of Local 2. I'm sure Arbitrator Rommel will address them. We believe that it will force interest arbitration, which basically goes line by line over what the city's policy is and force them to negotiate, which they should have done all along instead of walking away from the table. Our wonderful little friend, the mayor, repeatedly has blamed us. Their attorneys have blamed us for stalling, whatever the case may be, when it came to negotiating their policy. We sent a contract proposal from phase 1 off to our members for ratification prior to that policy being put out. They muddied the waters with this policy. There was a statement, an agreement, an obligation to continue bargaining the rest of the contract, which still has not happened. And that's because the city now has played games with this policy, and we haven't had one single discussion about phase 2 of the contract as if it doesn't exist. There's a lot of components and even some financial ones still to be addressed that now have taken a back seat to this policy. This has all been by design. Just understand, this mayor is a miserable human being who hates the police. I don't care how many times she gets in front of a camera and tries to say otherwise, but if you don't understand the gravity of how miserable she really is, all you have to do is look at the Tribune's report today from Mr. Pratt on the email or text message exchanges the mayor has had over the last year, and the ridiculous, ignorant things she has said to other aldermen and about other aldermen, including myself too. That's just who she is. She literally is laid bare to see how vindictive and don't dare challenge her. And that is what this is all about. We challenged her, and I will continue to challenge her in more ways than one. Now she's sitting there fundraising as if she's running for mayor. 800 homicides the last 2 years. She couldn't be a bigger failure on that simple topic alone. And she hasn't even declared for mayor, but she's saying it would be a gift if I ran. Well, give me a gift. Please announce publicly that you're going to run for re-election instead of trying to convince everybody to give you their money, and then you're going to go hide in a corner with it and be a coward and not run because you don't want to get embarrassed and get your ass handed to you in an election by me or somebody else, because there's no way you're getting re-elected, and that is directly for you. On another note, we have a general meeting next week on the 15th at noon. think about attending. There'll be a lot of information. There'll be a sergeant's class coming out. We don't have the list yet. Should be out later this afternoon. I'm guessing typical city fashion. It'll be the end of the day as they're walking out the door to report to the academy on Monday for promotions. It should be 100 police officers getting promoted to sergeant. So congratulations to those officers. I guess we see what the list contains as far as merit, but that's got to go moving forward. The new test should be scored, knock on wood, sometime in January. We should have a list for the new test. This should be the last group off of the old list. If you fall short, it's terrible. But in reality, we did at least kind of force the city to hire a couple classes off the old list, which they weren't planning on originally doing, because they don't like the demographic numbers that were facing them off the old list. I'm sure they're going to keep playing games. Heroes Fund, homepage, $50. We're going to have to write a big check next week because we have over 150 officers plus now in no paid status, and well over 100 officers who continue to still disobey the direct order when they're given their appointment in internal affairs. That $50 donation one time should be enough money to get us through January. 3 more pay periods, and we should be good to cover every officer with a little pocket money going forward. One time, $50, that's it. Also on our homepage is a link to a motorcycle raffle. That motorcycle raffle is not unique to only Lodge 7 members. Share it with everybody you know across the country. We will get the bike to wherever they are at. Doesn't have to be law enforcement. Could be anybody who loves West Wing, anybody who loves Indian motorcycles, or just want to support the police in general. Buy the $100 ticket. 100% of the proceeds goes to Carlos and Brenda in order to kind of facilitate the next phase of their life. But again, the goal is to sell over 1,500 tickets. We got a decent start. I'd like to keep the ball rolling. Tomorrow, we will have lunch with Santa at the Lodge. If you did not already register, there is no more room. We are totally booked up. It is going to be a packed house. It's going to be pretty good. I'd like to thank the Yanez family for stepping up and taking over, because we no longer have a family auxiliary who used to do it. That was disbanded for financial impropriety reasons, but the Yanez family offered to take the mantle and make it happen, and the Women's Committee assisted in that and making this a reality tomorrow for well over 100 kids to come see Santa and have lunch with Santa, so that'll be a good thing. Toy run. We collected a lot of toys, whether it was the trip to Philadelphia Lodge 5 or the watch and unit rep party we had on Wednesday here, or even other just donations from a Christmas party last week. A friend of the Lodge donated a ton of toys from that party. So Sunday afternoon, we're going to gather at the Lodge about noon, and we're going to head out and we're going to distribute those toys through some ministers with Dr. Willie Wilson, and 3 churches, 1 on the west side, 2 on the south side, and those ministers can then distribute the toys to kids within their parish who otherwise will not have a very Merry Christmas, and hopefully it brings them a little joy on behalf of the FOP and our members. So anybody who donated toys already, thank you. If you would like to drop off toys Sunday afternoon, like I said, we'll be here probably starting at about 11 o'clock, and we're going to wheels up and move out at noon. It will be a motorcycle procession and mini toys for tots. Anybody want to take a ride with us, feel free. It's going to probably be one of the last good days to ride in 2021. It's supposed to be about 47 degrees and sunny, so pretty much like today. That'll be a good thing. I don't really have anything else to add other than, the holiday season is kind of happy and joyous for a lot of us. For others, it is not. If you know anybody struggling alone or kind of despondent and kind of reclusive, reach out to one of your brothers and sisters and check on them. They need us to pay attention and support them more than ever before in this environment right now. With that being said, have a good week. I probably will have an update next Friday, but I am going to be taking a couple of vacation days, so I won't be around, but I'm going to try and do a video from where I'm at. Everybody have a good, safe weekend. Thanks.